Saturday evening. Let me just check my microphone. Didn't get plugged in. Almost plugged it in. I think we have an interesting possible Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello, check. This is good. Talk louder. Let me just try one more thing. Try going back. Can you hear me now? I think I know what happened. Okay, let me just check this 5 by 5. We hear you now. You hear me now, Daniela? Okay, so now you can hear me.
Yes.
Okay, I'm good now. Okay, so great. So, cheers. Slancha, l'chaim. Okay, so I assume you can hear me. This microphone is not working for some reason. I think it's because I dropped it. No, just stop it. 5 by 5. Okay, so we're good. Okay, so here's what I wanted to share, that Daniela and I and two other citizens, I suppose patriots, we all signed the papers to reinstate. Now, actually, it's not reinstating. You can hear me now. Okay. It we signed the paperwork and we witnessed and signed the paperwork to establish the republic in Mojave County, Arizona. This was a huge move. It took us a little while to get to this point where we all were ready to sign this document. But we now have established the beginning procedure for the republic in my county, in the county where I live in Arizona. Now, when I say it was not re-inhabited, that is in because Arizona didn't become a state until 1912, from what I understand. But in most of the states, certainly the 13 colonies and the like, most of the states were established before that. And they had an active republic until it was taken over in 1860, really officially in 1871, by this corporate entity called the United States of America. The republic is the United States for America. Okay, so you can hear this. Great. Now, this this is a huge thing. And this is tonight is now that we have started the process for establishing the republic in Mojave County, Arizona. Now, again, there is a governor for Arizona, so this must be done at the local level as well as on the state level. If you are sitting there like I was, cursing the chemtrails in the sky, and you think to yourself, there's nothing I can do about it. What do I do about it? The answer is, what we need to do about it is join the republic, is establish the republic. If you look at the law of war manual, and I don't want to get too technical, apparently people are saying that it's too technical to talk about the law of war manual. I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I think most people understand it. But 11.3, which Q points to a lot, Q is always pointing to 11.3 in the law of war manual. That is the law that states that in my understanding, that until the occupying force no longer controls the population, then the military can step in. From what I understand, and I've heard two interpretations of this, the occupying force, which is the corporation, even though they've technically been removed, and we've seen a lot of things like that they went bankrupt in 2020 and this kind of thing, but they are still in control of the population. So until enough of us join the Republic and say, and this is how we do it peacefully, we do not have to take to the streets. We do not have to show up. The arrests have already taken place. And how much of this is actual, how much of this is just a movie, that I don't know. But I do know that the White Hats made a deal with certain representatives, certain veterans, certain people in the know, that when the Republic has 30,000 people, active participants per state, and that all the offices in the Republic are occupied, meaning there are like 8 basic things like governor, secretary of state, this sort of thing. When all the offices are inhabited, and there are 30,000 people per state, which is nothing. We have a much bigger population than that. I mean, it's a drop. 30,000 people is nothing. I mean, back in the day, I had 60,000 subscribers before they started censoring me. It's not monumental. But if you are asking, how do we stop the chemtrails? How do we stop all this nonsense? How do we stop the taxes? How do we stop all this? How do we stop the adrenochrome production? How do we stop the child trafficking? How do we formally get rid of the occupying force, this enemy? It has to come from the people. President Trump can do all these things, and they are doing it, to wake us up, to wake enough of the population up so that we can change. Most of the chemtrails are worldwide. Okay, it doesn't matter. If we do it here, if we re-inhabit the Republic in the United States, that will have a profound global effect. Because people in other parts of the world have already risen up against the occupying force. For example, in Nepal, it seems like France, other places, I don't know, but this is where things are holding, as far as I can tell right now, that the people of the world must exhibit, must show the military that the occupying force, the creepazoid parasite Illuminati reptilians, no longer actively control the population. Period. It's that simple. Go to the Law of War manual and read 11.3. When the occupying force no longer controls the population. And right now, they control the population. Now, whether they actually control the population, they cheat on elections, they do all these things. The government that we're seeing, how much of this is theater, how much of this is a movie, has no bearing, in my opinion, on the idea of occupying force being able to control the population. As long as you can drive down the street and get a ticket for speeding, the occupying force controls the population if you pay it, if you submit to them. If you are trading, I looked at a $20 bill today. It's clearly a Federal Reserve note. It has nothing to do with currency. It's not real. It's not a real bill. It is only because we were at a laundromat and I used it at the laundromat. It's only because the people running the laundromat agree to this false notion that this currency represents anything, that has any value whatsoever. That's another issue. I mean, it is my opinion that everything is about to roll over into XRP, XLM, HBAR, Quant, and the like, Algorand, a few others. But that's another subject. What I'm saying tonight, and what really hit home for me was when I went over the Declaration of Independence, which I looked at the entire piece. It's quite long because it goes into specific notices or mentions of how the colonies were dealing with an illicit government, the British. And by the way, the word British, a Brit is a covenant. When a Jewish person gets a circumcision, it's called a bris. It's a Brit. It's a covenant. So the British have this. It's this fake covenant with the world. It's all chicanery and word warfare. I'm not qualified to go into that aspect. What I am saying basically tonight is that if you don't like the chemtrails, if you don't like the fact that the elections are not fair, if you don't like the fact that you have to pay taxes without representation because the elections are rigged, you are being taxed without representation. If any of these things really bother you, you can do something about it. And that is join the Republic. And I'm going to put the way you can do it. It's a very simple procedure. All you have to do is join the republicforusa.org. I've been told that the message doesn't get through on Rumble. They can't see the print, but it's republicforusa.org. Again, republicforusa.org. When 30,000 people join the republicforusa.org in every state, in all 50 states, which is not a huge number, and there are 8 active officers in the Republic for each state, then the military will step in, and the people that make up the Republic, this interim Republic, like myself, I am part of the interim Republic. I'm becoming part formally of the interim Republic. That when these positions are filled and 30,000 people are actively participants per state, the military will come in and tell the world that that the Republic is now the de facto or the temporary government of the for the United States, not of, for the United States. Then they will step in and conduct an election, and the members of the new government will be elected during this period. So it's republicforusa.org. if you join there, and some people have problems, I had a little problem joining it, and you let it be known that if you are in a situation to do this, that you will volunteer and you will fill one of the offices, then the military can step in. That will be a sign that the creepazoids, the parasites, no longer control the population. For example, one of the members of the Mojave County Republic, of this interim republic, told me that there's a way I can go to the Department of Transportation in Arizona and tell them I don't want my truck registered. I don't want to have any part in the satanic corporate organization. Then they will give me a different kind of license plate. I That's a big relief for me because I'm not getting my truck registered under the corporation. I'm not doing it. So this gives me a way out, and it gives all of us a way out. But this is it. We have to show the military that we are members of the republic so that they can formally step in and declare an election in 120 days. I know this is kind of a repeat. An election of the real government, by the people, for the people. So I don't know how much of a reach I have here. I know I've been shadow banned and canceled and through the years. But I do believe there are at least officially, is it 27,000 on X or something like that? 27,000 on X, 11,000 on YouTube, about 10,000 on Rumble. So there should be enough people that
Well, you have 17,000.
17,000
Yeah.
on 17,000 on X. That's because I'm not, I'm whatever. So if you're asking yourself, what can I do about the chemtrails? This is a very simple thing. You don't have to track down the pilot. You don't have to threaten to blow up his house or shoot him on the spot. Although that's something that probably comes up in your mind because this is violence against people without permission. These are crimes against humanity. But you don't have to go to that. You don't have to do that. All you have to do is join the Republic, volunteer to help with instituting an interim government so that elections can take place. So, to add to this, today I had to sign a document that was the beginning of the Declaration of Independence that I had to sign on. But I want you and this is really for me as well, to really analyze in a quick way the beginning of the Declaration of Independence. Because I think when and it's me as well, when we really see what the words say, it makes perfect sense that we would rise up in a peaceful way and declare that we don't want this. We're done. Okay, so let's see how well, again, republic4usa.org. And by the way, we did the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag for the United States of America. That it's a little different, but this is how this is how the Satanists have tricked us by changing one little word in this declaration. For the Republic. So let's analyze this. Let's look at this paper together and see if you agree with me. It's Happy Valentine's Day, by the way. By the way, my mother told me last night, I think I said this last night, that she was going to hold me off I was born on the 13th of February. But she says if it was 5 minutes later, I would have been born on Valentine's Day. When she found out I was a boy, it was like, okay, it's not that big a deal. But she was really hoping, and she even asked the doctor, could you just cheat a little? It's only 5 minutes. He said, no way. So I'm almost on born on Valentine's Day, but 13 is a very good number in my mind, because echad, it means unity, it means one, and 2 times 13 is 26, which is Havaya, which represents God above nature, the God of the big dude. Okay, so let's just see. Let me see if I can just go. I'm going to take off the this caption for a minute. Republic4USA.org. Just join it. Get your, if you know people that are sympathetic to the cause, you may be in isolation like most of us. But if you do know somebody who's in line or in alignment with this movement, this is the way we can change the world. And the faster, in my mind, the better. Also, just to mention, if you happen to be in Mojave County and you're listening to me now, we are going to have a physical meeting once a month. You can show your support by showing up at this meeting. We haven't announced it yet, but we are obligated to meet once a month, so people can come in Mojave County. Hopefully, all over the United States, people will start coming to meetings once a month, or you could do it online as well. We have a very powerful tool in the internet to get this done, and get this done fast. Because I, for one, every time I see the chemtrails, I'm just beside myself with anger and rage, and I want to know what to do about it. And this is the way we're going to do about it, because when enough of us are present in this effort to repopulate the republic, we will be, in fact, the government for the United States. We will be for 120 days. The people who inhabit those offices now will be that when the military says, okay, now you are the government for 120 days, we're going to have an election, and you will be representing the United States for America for those 120 days. But until that happens, the occupying force is controlling the population, and the military cannot formally step in, according to my understanding of the Law of War manual. Okay, so let's go to this thing and just go over this together. Here we go. Okay. Declaration of Independence, Thomas Jefferson. We hold these truths to be self-evident. I'm going to go to a little bigger thing so I can see it a little more. We hold these truths to be self-evident when, in the course of human events, and just while I'm reading this, just think about how well aligned this is to our present situation. When, in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and nature's God entitle them. A decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are all endowed by their creator with certain unalienable rights. And among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive to these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it and to institute new government, laying the foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes. And accordingly, all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer while evils are insufferable than to right themselves by establishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. Such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies, and such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former system of government. The history of the present King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having in direct object the establishment of an absolute tyranny over these states. To prove this, the facts be submitted to a candid world. Okay, so this goes into the specifics of this thing. But if you think about it, and it goes through a list of all the things. He has dissolved representative houses repeatedly. He has forbidden the government to pass laws of immediate and pressing importance. He has refused to assent to laws to the most wholesome and necessary for the public good. This is, in effect, we are now ruled by a tyrannical government that does not allow for honest elections, that taxes us with, you have no representation because your elections are not honest. They tax us. They issue us all these really unconstitutional necessity to have licenses for things that are forbidden under the Constitution. We want to return to constitutional law, to the law of the divine, to divine law, to the pursuit of liberty and happiness. not to debt slavery, not to environmental slavery, where they make you drive cars that shut off at stoplights and this kind of thing. We have an opportunity to swiftly throw off this tyrannical government, which, from those of us who have been following this thought stream of Q and the like, we believe that it is already non-existent, that the government, that the people that were supposedly running the government, all paid off, all bought off, all becoming millionaires, were arrested in 2020 when the National Guard surrounded Washington. That very well has happened. But until the people rise up, until we, the people, rise up and say, enough, we've had it with this government, we will not be free. So if you're sitting there at home and you're trying to figure out, like me, like I do, how do we stop these creeps from spraying the air? How do we stop the creeps from poisoning our food, poisoning our water, serving us medicines that are destructive to our health? How do we do that? If you've heard my voice and you've heard it explained, and you've heard that the website is called republic4usa.org, if you know about that and you haven't registered and you haven't volunteered, then you have no excuse. You have not done your part. This is a call to action. This is not a call to, like, gee, I'm so pissed off and it's all, Q told us this and when are the arrests coming and all that other bullshit. The arrests have already taken place, in my opinion, from what we've seen. But we, the people, must take action. It's obvious. It's simple, and I'm not trying to present this in a scolding way, because I'm as guilty as you are of not taking this action. But today I changed that and I signed papers. I am I forget what do you call that? The bailiff?
Yeah.
I'm the bailiff for the county of Mojave in Arizona. I'm the bailiff. I've signed up to be the bailiff. There are 4 positions per county. That's all you need for a county. But the republic will be a local government. This whole world government will be out when we rise up and join the republic. And it's as simple as volunteering in your state. If you haven't heard from them, get on the republic again. The people reached out to me right away. I heard about this through Gila, and Gila introduced me to Nancy. She said, "Is it is it okay if I give Nancy your phone number?" I said, "Sure." And I said to Nancy, "Let's get online right away." She was not prepared. She didn't have her camera ready. I mean, she did. It takes a little bit to broadcast it. You need a decent laptop and that kind of thing. But she was willing to go right away, and so am I. And I'm sure you are as well. I'm sure you are as tired of this despotic, tyrannical, parasitic, bureaucratic nonsense that's run by who knows what reptilians, beings in other dimensions. But the sacrifice of children, the eating of children, the adrenochrome production, the money laundering, the theft of our tax money is enough to point to a tyrannical, despotic regime that must be countered by action, by nothing else. And that's what I've been, we've been talking about this for years, that it's not enough to just sit here and get angry and throw spitballs at the TV or whatever you do. I mean, I give the finger to the airplanes, and I imagine them losing control of their craft and crashing into, I don't have any feeling in my heart for people that are committing crimes against humanity. I don't like it. I don't like to get sprayed like a bug. So I think this simple Declaration of Independence, the simple joining of the Republic. If you're a veteran, you've already sworn your life to the Constitution. So it's a no brainer for veterans. But please, we must resurrect the Republic. It was stolen from Lincoln. The Q plan has been in effect since the time of Lincoln and maybe before. President Putin just came out with a declaration or an admission that Tartaria, that there was a very advanced civilization on the planet. We are coming back to our history, to our republic, to living under divine law, to living our dreams, to living with outside of debt slavery without fear. So I'm probably going to forego the usual, like, kind of like weeding through the newscasts. I'm seeing some beautiful things posted, and it seems that it's just so beautiful to have something that we can actually do, because the creepazoids have put us into a matrix prison that we cannot see. And most people are not even aware of the fact that they're completely enslaved by this matrix, by this corporation. But that freedom is just a website away. You don't have to go out in the snow. You don't have to put on your boots the way Washington did, right? You don't have to spend weeks away from your family, camping out in New Jersey in the cold. It was freezing cold that year. We are in the comfort of our homes. We will continue to be in the comfort of our homes and our communities. We will start small communities. We will repopulate the republic and live under divine law, without fear, with real money, with debt jubilee. A debt jubilee, all your debts will be forgiven. You will only be taxed for new items. The judges, I mean, when I saw a post today that said, what kind of a world is it where judges are the judges cannot be trusted? The judges are criminals. What kind of a world is that? How can you expect to get justice but all the judges will be retrained under constitutional law. The doctors will be replaced probably by high-tech med beds, and all the pharmaceutical industries are going down. They're all going down. Big tech, big media, they've all been involved in this satanic rape of humanity. Disgusting behavior towards children. But there's a way out. There's and it's so simple, and it's so beautiful that all the architecture of our release from captivity is already in place. You don't have to invent the wheel. You don't have to. And I also want to just mention that In about 1970, I think it was like 1970, maybe 1971, I sat in a small office, a small kind of like weird back room somewhere in White Plains, New York, and a few people we talked about, let's have an Earth Day, right? I mean, it's different, but it's similar with just a few people. And now Earth Day is like, or was a big deal. So too with the Republic. This could ignite like wildfire. When people see the chemtrails and they ask you, what can we do about it? Well, this is what you can do about it. If people complain to you that the Democrats are out of control, they're stealing all our money, what do we do about it? Well, this is what you can do about it. I mean, Doge seems to have all this stuff. The government, the White Hats are certainly doing their part to bring this incredible revolution and evolution of humanity to the planet, to our space, to our beautiful, loving Earth. So join us. Let's all join together and get this done. I'm gonna just put this out just for let the teacher teach. Thank you. Yeah, I want to mention two things. One is that uh, we appreciate. I just want to share our we appreciate your and we invite you to call Dr. Stacy and sign up for this incredible product. I have been experiencing lower back pain, and I find when I put on Eon and X39 on the base of my spine, that the pain goes away. So if you're experiencing pain, if Eon is Dr. Stacy calls a happy patch. For years, I listened to Dr. Stacy talk about it. Say, oh, I don't need it. I don't have any problems. But now my back hurts a little bit, and I do appreciate having the Eon patch. Please just give her a call, text her, send her an email. She'll get back to you. It may take her a day or two, but we invite you to share in this incredible health product. It puts nothing in your body. It simply reflects your own light in amazing ways, in healing ways that the regular medical community does not seem to have at their disposal. Although they've been hiding cures for years because it benefits them to keep you sick. So we appreciate you. Let me just I don't know if you're getting this on Rumble, but Dr. Stacy's number is 812-455-6897. Again, 812-455-6897. Give her a call. Tell her you want some X39. You want stem cell activation in your body. The stem cells know what to do to heal you. You don't need to take poisonous medicines and that sort of thing. So we appreciate it. We thank you for joining us in this quest, and we, it definitely benefits us. We want to share good health. We want to share wealth. It's an excellent business. If you're interested in sharing this with other people, at least you could have your own patches paid for. So you could sign up as it's advantageous to sign up as a brand partner because you get certain discounts and you have the ability to share with others. So again, we thank you for this. We thank you for joining the Republic. We think this is the way out. Let me just let me go back to the chat. And before we terminate, I want to mention something else that maybe you guys can help me with, and that is I made a little video this morning. Maybe I could even, oh no, can I show that? Yeah, I might be able to show that video. But the idea that if if you have a desire to live off grid and start you live on the land, that we are in a position, Daniela and I are in a position to help you you may have no carpentry skills, you may have no electric skills, you may know, because most of us have been working in this matrix where you don't really do things that are practical. So if you need help in that area, if you the okay, let me just share this. Let me see if I could just share this video because I think it speaks of what I'm talking about here. Let's see. Go to here, right? Yeah. Okay, let's go here. Can I alter this? No, I cannot. Wait, let's stop sharing. Let's go. Let's try something else. I'm just going to do this quickly. Okay, and let's see if we can go to. Okay, just bear with me 1 second. I just want to share this tape because I want to figure out a way to be able to help people do this if they want to. Here it is. Okay. So let me see if we can play this. Time. You're all Isbys. You're immortal spiritual biological entities that can figure this stuff out. Okay, so we started with an RV. We bought some land. We got the land cheap because it's in the desert and there's no flat spaces. Then we started adding on little by little. A toilet's a big deal. We got a septic tank. These things, all it takes is a couple of little tools. That's our well house out there. We dug a well. All these things can be done. You need a few tools. Like this is a great tool to have if you're going into it. A couple of, let me show you my tools here. A couple of drills, right? You got a couple of drills and you're in business. This is easy peasy. Then you come out and you add a few things. You need a decent truck for sure. And solar panels are really great, man. They're unbelievable. I think I got these for a few $1,000s with the inverter. And then I have a little storage, like a dry place that we took our stuff from New York. We got, we have a storage tank for water. I haven't filled it up yet, but I'm about to. But the big news is the garden. And I got some raw lumber here. Anybody can do this. That's the whole point. I got a few fruit trees now, and I'm going to start growing vegetables. I mean, this is the life. You want to live in the city and pay all this money for all the convenience when you can be out here? I don't know, man. Anyone can do this. Everything is simple, right? You just set it up and take a little time and learn these things. You can learn on YouTube. I can teach you how to do this stuff. It's easy. Just like basic knowledge. Screws. Everything is screws now. You don't even have to know how to hit a nail. So have a great day, but come on out and join us. This is freedom, man. I don't have to pay an energy bill. I got my own water. So I just thought I'm not really sure exactly how I would share the information, but it's not hard. It's not hard to live like this. Everything because of the sophistication of the tools, everything is really a drill. It's a battery powered drill. I have two drills, and you buy screws. Screws you can buy like I don't know, it was 20 pounds for how many pounds do we buy? 20 pounds of screws for $50. You know, you buy them in different sizes. Everything, and there's some basic principles you need to know about carpentry. Everything has to have a support underneath it, but and you know how to. I figured out how to connect my solar panels without. You know, it was a leap of faith because I'm not an electrician, but it's all pretty easy stuff, and I'm not sure how I would do it. We were thinking that once we get established and we could have people up here, that would be that people could come and join us in whatever stage of building. Well, we'll probably be building a lot of different houses, but or we could do it on the internet. But it's not hard. The tools make it very the new tool kind of tools make it very easy. You have to know, for example, like when you use a screwdriver, it's simple things. Like when you use a screwdriver, you don't want it to slip because that will dull your screwdriver and it won't work so well. So you have to push really hard. Same thing with the drill. If you hear a funky noise of it twirling around, that means you're not doing it right. And I have that problem too. But everything is you could buy a drill thing for like $100, and you could buy one of those miter saws for, I think, $300, and get yourself into business. And then you just figure out how to get materials and the like. But I'm just saying that, and not everyone is made for this kind of life. But if it appeals to you, I would love to be able to maybe make videos and just show you some basic techniques. It's not rocket science. I mean, we bought our RV for $8,000. We happened to have some silver then, and we traded our silver for an RV, and we've been living in it for a year and a half. We complain about it sometimes, but it's home. And in the meantime, we're building a house around us. Eventually, we will take the RV out. I have it designed. The front of the building is I can take it out. I'll pull the RV out, and we'll finish the house. Anyway, I thought I would mention that. But the main thing is, set of X-ray machines, TSA with the patches. Has anyone set off the? I doubt it. I don't think you'd set off. I've gone through there with patches. I've gone there. They never say anything about the patches, so it's not a problem. Um, yeah, it's coming along nicely, and we have some things we have to take care of in the next couple weeks. But when I get back to building full time, I'm all set to work on the second floor where I'll be broadcasting from up there. It's beautiful. I also got a picture tonight of something with Starlink. I think Starlink. There was like a big
SpaceX.
what?
SpaceX.
SpaceX did put a big like it looked like a Q in the sky. I'll show you that tomorrow. But yeah, it's amazing, man. It's an amazing world, and just join the Republic, republicforusa.org. Let's get this thing going. Let's show the occupying force that they're no longer in control of the population. Let's get our election going. We'll elect some nice people, and that's it. People have to like the desert. It's not forever, right? But you don't have to live in the desert. I personally love it. You like it, yeah? I lived out west 3.5 years and traveled a ton too. I've lived 10 years in Florida, currently in Ohio. Cool. I mean, yeah, you don't have to live in the desert. You could get an acre of land or 5 acres of land, uh, you know, all over the world that is a lot easier to inhabit. I like the size of the land. I like the privacy. I like it's a little harder because we don't have rivers and that kind of thing, but we do have a well. They're all your divine, immoral, spiritual, psychedelic fractals of the infinite consciousness, right? So yeah. So just remember, you are an ISB, immortal, spiritual, biological entity. Okay, is be immortal, live forever, spiritual, connected through consciousness, through your thoughts. Biological, we have bodies, entity. Okay, that's what you are. You can connect with the infinite. In fact, try to not connect to the internet, to the infinite. Try to, people say, I just want to talk to God. And I say, I just want not to talk to God, because everything you do, everything you think, everything you say, everything is inherently connected to the creator. All right, let's play a quick tune. Oh, I have to start it first, right? Let's see. Living in the city, I was paying down my bills. One flat tire, and the whole thing went to hell. Credit cards for groceries, I'm deep in debt again. It's time to split this scene, walk with you, my friend. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go together, playing with the band. Leaving the matrix, we're heading for the promised land. Stopped paying taxes, your insurance I don't need. The medicines are killing us, hospitals grow like weeds. Moved into paradise, I don't need no gassy cars. Fake news, endless wars, a satanic legal bar. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go together, playing with the band. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. My friends all tell me I lost control. Left my wife and job just to run down rabbit holes. But I can tell you one thing about my fall. Where we go one, we go all. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go together, playing with the band. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. Leaving the matrix, we're heading for the promised land. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. So join up with the Republic, man. Let's get this election going. Let's get the veterans, friends, anybody you can get. Please, we need to have like a massive movement of repopulating the Republic. If you're in Mojave County, I'll be letting you know when you can come to a meeting. We want to have a lot of people there. We want to show the White House that we're ready. We're ready to overthrow this tyrannical, despotic government. that's been ruining our lives and keeping us from the pursuit of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So have a great night. May force be with you. May you realize this is the movement we need. Yeah, I think so. I think it's a no-brainer. And thanks to everyone for being here. But it's a no-brainer, man. I mean, it's all set up for us. We don't have to like meet in basements or anything like I did with the Earth Day thing back in the day. All we have to do is call republicforusa.org, is sign up on the website and volunteer, do whatever we can. Participating in criminal law is not leaving the matrix. Right, exactly right. Young ones should learn a trade. Yeah, absolutely. I've been a union carpenter. Yeah, I know. It's I was talking to one of my old friends from Crown Heights, a rabbi, and he said, "How are you learning to do this?" Well, I said, "Well, I was a carpenter for 20 years." He said, "I didn't know that." But yeah, a lot of it, I'm lucky that I have a little background in practical applications of of life. Learn a trade, yeah. But if you don't learn a trade, it is not rocket scientists. And with the tools they have now, if you just have to be really careful not to hurt yourself and stay conscious when you're using power tools. Don't space out about, how beautiful the world is. That's not the time for it. When you're using a power tool, you have to be completely focused on and aware that you're doing something very dangerous. You just have to be careful and conscious. But yeah, workshop in school. I listen. I love my pleasure in life is just being out there and going. I'm putting flat rocks down in my bathroom. That's a big joy, and trying to figure out how to combine all the elements of dirt and wood and stone, and it's a thrill. It's the joy of my life right now, that and Daniela. So may the force be with you. May you realize that you are force. May source be with you. I saw this cool post that said people are depressed because all they do is consume. We're created to create. We were made. We are called isbies. Immortal. You're going to live forever. Immortal, spiritual. We are connected. Biological entities. That is our job. We are on a higher level, according to mysticism, than the angels. The angels can only do one thing. We can do many things. We're godly. So yeah, Santa Fe is beautiful. New Mexico, yeah. All right, so let's get out there. God willing, we'll see you tomorrow night, and I'll try to do it earlier. But let's get out there with a big smile on our face and rock the world.